The big wigs over at Warner Brothers said to add a teenage girl character to the Batman Beyond cast was a great idea, despite what others may have thought at the time. Because of this, we got Maxine Gibson, voiced by the iconic Cree Summer. How can you hate that? Now, where season 1 was all about Terry and Bruce building up this relationship, navigating Gotham, this new but yet familiar city, Terry dealing with the murder of his father, him wanting to seek revenge on Derek Powers, aka Blight, all under the secrecy of being Batman, was really good. You know, it led to multiple clashes between between Bruce and Terry. Terry trying to figure out balance his personal life, his work life, his family life, and not having a listening ear for him to vent his frustrations to, because it really was just Terry and Bruce bouncing off ideas, bouncing off frustrations between the two. And I believe Barbara Gordon did join, but she wasn't really a listening ear. It was just more like she was putting her input, like, hey, this was up, I know who you are. But it wasn't anyone Terry can, and he can't relate to both Bruce and Barbara, but it wasn't anyone his age to really understand his frustrations outside of, because his frustrations was with Bruce and just the whole situation. So, but like I said, it was building up a relationship between those two. So it really was about, so season 1 was just really grounded on those two and Terry with that. Season 2 comes around, enter Maxine Gibson, and she becomes that listening ear, that place to stay and make life-changing decisions. Babel and Witness are the episodes I'm referring to when I say that. And she is this no-nonsense, I'm all about my studies, flirty, down to fight kind of gal, okay? And just 10 toes down for a friend, all right? And I always thought that her character, despite having all these, she's smart, by the way, but having all this, I always thought her introduction was a bit flimsy. And I was like, oh, I wish we could have changed that up. The smartest girl in school all of a sudden wants to unmask who Batman is out of pure boredom. Which, think about that now, it makes sense because she's bored, she has something else to do. She can hack a computer, so why not? But I still thought it was flimsy. And so I thought, what if Max was related to Barbara Gordon? Hear me out. The story being, the Joker gang all of a sudden is like ramping up their crimes. It went from petty crimes to like maybe murder. I don't know, right? And Commissioner Barbara Gordon is just at her wit's end. It's such a distraction. This is pulling her away from other crimes, and she just want to put it into all this. Okay, and her husband, DA Sam Young, is like, I have an idea. Let's start a computer tech or computer program for troubled teens or just teens to get them off the streets. You know, a good distraction from whatever's happening. And it can be led by our niece, Max. And so she's like, okay, let's see if this works. Max leads the class, and it's going well until she starts to notice that, maybe her students are becoming increasingly absent or late. So she grows suspicious. So one day she decides to follow them, and she gets hemmed up by the Joker gang. Enter Batman, and he saves the day. Bing, bop, boop. And then Terry shows up moments later. He always does that. How Batman shows up and moments later Terry shows up. And he's like, hey, y'all. So he shows up moments later and he's like, I saw what happened. Are you okay? Are you good? Like, you're Max. You go to my school. You're like the smartest girl, blah, 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 blah. But you good. You're good, right? Okay, cool, bye. And he leaves. And Max is like, okay, now that's also suspicious. So she goes back and she goes to investigate. She does her own investigation on Terry and she makes the connections. Think of Tim Drake. Think of Tim Drake discovering who Bruce Wayne is, and he's Batman and Nightwing. So just think of Tim Drake, but Max. So Max says that. She's like, bing, bop, boom. Terry's Batman. Okay, bet. She goes to school the next day. She pulls Terry aside. She's like, I know you're Batman, and here's what we're going to do. And Terry's like, what? No, I'm not Batman. Like, what are you talking about? No, that's not me. You got the wrong idea. What? And Max is like, stop. You're Batman, and I have an idea. Help me help my aunt, Barbara, stop the Joker gang or figure out what's going on with them. And it'll be a win-win for both. We get the criminal off the streets. You know, you do your thing, but we help each other, and let's end this. And it can be a two-parter, right? Part 1 and part 2. They save the day, and yeah. I like that. It's a good idea, right? And I always thought it'd be a fun connection because Max is constantly trying to put on that bat suit. And I think she tried to put the bat suit on twice, and Bruce shut that shit down. And she's eager to help Terry. She's always down to fight for him and with him. And, she's good with computers. Like I said, her working into the, at the precinct or the police station would be like a nod to Barbara Gordon, because I believe she also worked at along her father. So it would be a cute little nod to that. And like I said, she always trying to put on the bat suit. It's a nod to Barbara / Batgirl. And it can be an episode when she discovers that Barbara Gordon was Batgirl, and that makes her want to be put on the suit even more and be part of the Bat world. But yeah, that's my what if. I have multiple ideas with multiple episodes that can deal with Batgirl. I mean, Max and Batgirl, or her and Barbara Gordon can team up for an episode, and Max does, and they both put on a bat suit. That'd be cute. I know Bruce and Max teamed up. Maybe Bruce will, Terry gets hurt, and Max has no other choice but to put on the bat suit. He navigates. So you know what I mean? And he navigates Max on trying to save Terry. So you know what I mean? She dons the suit for a day. So yeah, it'd be really cute. But that's just my what if. That was my new backstory to Batgirl. I mean, to Max being Batgirl or in being related to Barbara Gordon. But Tim, what you think? Do you have a what if? Do you have an idea? Do you have an idea for a character story, or do you think a character story should be different? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. If you like this, please, if you enjoy this, please like and subscribe. If I finish this before the painting, please enjoy the rest of the painting. And if you have any ideas or topics you want to talk about, please leave in the comments below. And like I said, enjoy the rest of the painting. Until next time, bye.